Cancer, I need you to sit with that word for a moment, family, because that word is not just a word to me. I have heard that word spoken over my life, and I want you to know what it does to you when you hear it. It stops you. Everything you thought your life was going to be, it freezes. It shakes you. It frightens you in a way that is almost impossible to describe. It shatters something inside of you, not permanently, but for a season that requires everything you have just to find solid ground again. It required me to dig deeper than I had ever dug before. It required me to reach for God in ways I had never reached for Him. And I want to tell you, only a person who has never had to sit in a doctor's office and receive that diagnosis would ever use that word so loosely, so freely, so carelessly. The same way people throw around the word slavery without having lived one day in chains. The same way people use the word imprison without ever having lost their freedom.
You said something last week that I was like, ooh, that's really step on some toes. You're talking about black men. You was like, if you really want to know
what the problem is.
Yeah, he was like, it ain't the black women. Let's really talk about the black men and the lack of accountability in that space.
There is a conversation that needs to be had in-house amongst the straight black male collective. It's time. There's a conversation. You know, black women are excelling in so many different areas. They've mobilized. They got their sister thing. They getting their degrees, getting themselves together. And there is this, you know, super toxic masculine push to be alpha males and to be leaders and want to be in charge of everything. And I say this with my whole chest. Want to be in charge of so much shit and want to be the head of the household and want you to respect them. And not all brothers, but many, the only thing they got on their damn resume is audacity.
Ooh.
That's it. Ain't got shit else to offer the world but and audacity.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? And that's a real conversation that needs to be had. Y'all mad the sisters think they all that because they got their degrees, but get yours. Like, what are y'all waiting on? You know what I'm saying? And so that's a real conversation that needs to be had. When we start talking about issues that maim the black community and dead weight, the numbers show it ain't the sisters.
They ain't gonna like you saying that.
I don't give a damn. It ain't the sisters.
Well, they say the degrees don't matter.
It ain't the gay boys.
Yeah, because that's.
It ain't us.
Yes.
It's not us.
Yeah.
The gay boys, we ain't the ones selling dope. We ain't the ones in gangs. We ain't the ones creating illegitimate children, running around, you know, creating broken homes. We ain't the ones battering and beating the women. We ain't the ones in it. It's not us. It's not y'all.
Some words carry weight that you have no right to pick up and throw at another human being unless you truly know what they mean. Cancer is one of those words, and yet here we are. A black man on camera with an audience, with a platform, calling straight black men the cancer of the black community. Sit with that. So before I go any further, let me tell you what cancer actually looks like in our community, because I know what it feels like. Cancer is not a black man who gets up every morning and goes to work. Cancer is not a black father who stays, who leads, who loves his family. Cancer is not a black man who kneels before God and stands for his community. A real cancer, the thing that is truly invading, corrupting, and destroying us from the inside out, is anything and anyone that seeks to dismantle the black family by introducing chaos, confusion, and a boundless, endless immorality that has no reverence for God, no respect for order, and no regard for children who are watching. That is the cancer. And today we are going to name it.
Funky Dineva is going viral because he repeated a sentiment that he has actually held for quite a many years, that straight Black men are the cancer, they are the problem ultimately in the Black community. And now he has held this sentiment for a while. I ended up in my search for this clip, or an extended version of the clip, I ended up going to his YouTube page and finding that there have been several videos centered around this thought on his page for the past couple of years. And I found one that I want to share a snippet with as well. But this is, in a nutshell, the sentiment. This is the clip that is now going viral. So you'll be able to hear this. Here we go.
It has now come to the time that we have a conversation. I've been saying for years on this show that Black men need to have a conversation, Black men alone. We have got to figure out what is going on with us. This is not something that Black women can help us with. This conversation does not include Black women. Black women, stand down and stand to the side. Black men need to have a kumbaya amongst themselves, and I'm gonna niche this out a little more. And it's heterosexual Black men. I'm gonna catch a lot of flack for this, but I'm gonna say it out loud with my whole chest. Straight Black men are the cancer of the Black community. That's where it starts and that's where it stops. Ladies, I'm here to tell y'all something. All this shit that y'all got going on, some of y'all, not all of y'all, with the gays and with the trans, let it go. Your issue is not a trans woman. Your issue is not a punk or not a sissy. Your issue is all of our issue. Straight Black men. Straight Black men are the enemy to the gays. Straight Black men are the enemy to the trans. Straight Black men are who are causing harm to the girls and the women. That's where it's at. Now, y'all can shoot the messenger. Y'all can call me all type of faggots on the Shade Room and all the other blog sites that's going to pick this up, and I'll eat it. But you'll never see a situation where girls and women walking around saying they scared of the gay boys. They scared of their life for the gay boys. They don't want to be around the gay boys. It ain't us going around with these fragile ass egos, can't take rejection. We've got to ask ourselves, and I don't even know if the Black straight male collective can even answer this question, because their egos tend to be so fragile. How is it we are raising boys with these fragile ass egos that feel it is okay to slam girls on their head for saying no? Why is it that we have to make the females of the community make all the adjustments? It's not fair. Straight Black men are the cancer of the Black community. Argue with your mammy.
A Black man just went viral for saying straight men are the cancer of the Black community. And this is the same claim a Black woman made just a few months ago on this very channel. But here is what nobody is saying out loud. This is not just one man with a bad opinion. This is a coordinated, deliberate assault on straight Black men, the Black family, and God's design for our community. And today we are going to call it exactly what it is. Before we go one step further, I need to establish something foundational. Dineva is an openly gay Black man. And I want to be very clear, this is not about hate, this is about order. God designed man and woman. He designed the family. He designed masculine authority, feminine strength to work together, not against each other. When a man willfully rejects that design, when he steps outside of God's natural order for men, women, and family, he has disqualified himself from the conversation about what is wrong with straight Black men. As I'll say it again, you're not even qualified to have a conversation about what is wrong with straight Black men or the Black community, because you're part of the problem. You do not get to abandon the blueprint and then tell the builders they're doing it wrong. That's not boldness. That is absolute confusion. You are utterly confused. And what makes this even more revealing is that Funky Davina admitted it himself. He said in his own video that he had to sit still in the barbershop, sit still and quiet just to occupy the space of a straight black man. He knows he does not belong in that world. He is not speaking from inside of it. He is speaking about it from the outside to an audience that will reward him for tearing it down.
Why is he in the group chat on this particular topic? I mean, I'm not even saying he's wrong. It's just like, you know what? Why are you in the group chat? Because if he's gonna make a carve out for, I guess, the black men he's interested, and that's fine. That's cool. If we can let non-heterosexual black men in the chat, well, why stop there? Why can't we have the white queens in the group chat? Why can't we make carve outs for everybody? Why can't we have other additional people in the group chat? Other people have something to say about this topic. I understand, he's trying to, he sided with the sisterhood. I get that. There's a little overlap in there, and they're both kind of interested in men. And, you observe some things in the community growing up. Totally understand all that. But I don't think he really has a dog in a fight. I'm not really sure why he's even commenting on it. But, it's a story. That's my take.
Yeah, so you show way more grace than I was going to give, and I
I'm
wanted
trying
to
to show grace, man. It's
I
Juneteenth.
wanted him to have some air, man, before I say what I got to say, because brother or Quentin or Latham or whatever, I'm not calling the man delicious, so it ain't gonna happen. So yeah, you get the reference. Listen, the brother, the dude's trying to go viral, or whoever is going viral on the audacity of straight men, and I challenge them on their audacity to even be in this conversation not because of their preference. Not because of that, but because of the premise. The premise of their argument was, well, you don't see gay guys gangbanging and da-da-da-da until you saw The Wire and that great actor played that part, or other things. You didn't really conceive of homosexuality in certain sections because the stigma, right? The stigma that exists in the black community anyway. There are some areas where there is not a lot of prominent homosexuality because of stigma. Not because of whatever. Now, if those areas have vices in them, it doesn't mean that heterosexual men are more prone to vice. It just means this is the area where there are heterosexual men. I feel like the way he positioned the whole thing, like studies have shown, men are traditionally actually more committed in relationships than women, right? And generally, the women tend to be the problem, even in the same-sex relationships between women or monogamous, or heterosexual sex between women, relationships. It's still, women are generally the problem. That's what I'm saying. And I know it sounds sexist, but we got to stop making aesthetic vulnerability for intellectual honesty. Like he wasn't being, we say it was vulnerable, say he was being candid, but really it's just trash. It was just trash. It was one-sided and slighted, and I don't know why he's in the room talking. If we're going to have that talk, then let's all do it. And let's be honest that we're all the problem if we're not healed individuals. Let's just make it that. Let's not keep this divide going. This is like the Willie Lynch letter in a pink jacket and a white polo shirt.
And the Bible is clear about this. When people reject God's design, God gives them over to a debased mindset. And out of that debased mindset comes exactly this: words that destroy, words that dehumanize, words that call God's creation a cancer. You cannot reject God's order for your own life and then appoint yourself the judge of men who are trying to live inside of it. That seat does not belong to Funky Davina. Now, I need you to see the strategy, because this did not happen by accident. Watch what Funky Davina does in the clip carefully. He opens by saying black men need to have a conversation among themselves. He says we, as in all of us black men together. Then check this out. Then within seconds, he narrows it down to straight black men and quietly steps himself out of the room. First, it was we. Then it became them. Exempts himself. He exempts gay black men. He exempts the entire rainbow community and then points the finger directly at straight black men as the enemy of everyone. Enemy of women, enemy of gay men, enemy of trans people, enemy of the entire community. That's not accountability. That's a setup. And it is not new. Commentators and researchers who have studied this pattern have documented it clearly. When major issues surface in the black community, the loudest voices pushing anti-black male narratives are consistently black feminists and gay black men operating in the same direction, toward the same audience for the same reward. That's not coincidence. That is a coalition. And the reward is real. They get views, they get validation, they get viral reach, and the intoxicating feeling of being called brave for saying the most destructive thing possible about your own people. Funky Davina knows exactly who is in his audience. He knows straight men are not watching him. So this message lands on black women who are already frustrated, on young people still forming their identity, and on a culture that has been primed to believe that black men are the problem. I'm not going to stop saying it. I'm not going to stop hammering this home until women and this rainbow coalition and liberals stop hammering and coming down on our men. Stop trying to dismantle our community. I've had enough. He is not speaking truth to power. He is weaponizing pain for an applause. And the enemy of the black family is laughing because he did not have to say a word. He got a black man to say it for him. Look at that. Look at that. Buffoonery at its best. Here's what is at stake, and I need you to feel this. When straight black men are successfully painted as the cancer of the community, when that message goes viral, gets clipped, gets shared, gets repeated, it does not stay on one platform, family. It lands in the hearts of young black boys who are still figuring out who they are. It lands in the minds of black women who are trying to decide whether black men are worth standing beside any longer. It lands in the culture, and it chips away at the very foundation that the black family needs to survive. Taking a real community issue and turning it into a gender war against straight black men is not telling the truth. It is one of the most dangerous things happening in the black public life right now, because the black community cannot move forward without the black family, and the black family cannot survive without strong, God-fearing, present black men. When you demonize black men from the inside using black voices, black platforms, and black pain as a weapon, you are not helping our community. You are dismantling it, and the children and the next generation are watching. The boys are watching. And what they are learning is that men who look like them are the problem when they're not.
I do kind of sense that in the beginning when you were talking about how I am, I was like, I just felt like it was something that happened before with you.
Some of my own trauma?
Yeah, some old trauma that was like that put all of that barbershop talk on me, that macho stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
Could be.
Yeah.
I mean, could be.
We should have a conversation about that.
Could be. We should. You know, we should actually do like a live or video panel one day.
I would, yeah.
You, a couple guys, and just have this conversation about the relationship within the black community between straight black men and gay men. Because I'm going to be very honest with you, I don't feel safe around straight black men.
We cannot afford to let that go unchallenged. Not for one video, not for one more viral clip, not for one more round of applause. Funky Davina has the right to say what he said, but he has the responsibility to answer it. Because the attack on straight black men is also an attack on the black family. An attack on the black family is an attack on the community God designed us to build together. That is what's really at risk here. And somebody had to say it, and I decided to do it. If this video gave you something to think about, like it, share it, leave a thoughtful comment below. The links to the clips related to this topic are in the description of this video. I'm Deborah, and this is Family Still Matters. And because family still matters, I say this over and over again, understanding God's design, not man's design, not culture's design, understanding God's design and purpose for men, for women, and our community is not optional. It is the foundation everything is built on. Thank you for watching, and may God continue to richly bless you. And I'm going to leave this message for those individuals that are trying to tear down our community and speak destruction. Romans 1:28 says this about that community that hates black men. And since they did not see fit to acknowledge God, meaning acknowledging God in your lifestyle choices, in the way you live, God gave them up to a debase. When something is debased, it's lowered. He gave them over to a debased mind, a mind that is lowered, that no longer has the capacity to think anything morally clean or good, or that even gives life. A debased mind to do what ought not to be done. Go read it. It's there because God said it. May God continue to richly bless you. Thank you for listening. God bless.